Hey, this is Dr. Fast here, and in this video I will show you a trouble code that I was getting on my house alarm. As you can see, this is made by a company called DSC, and the model number of this alarm system is the PC1555. It's a rather old system, probably about 14 years old now, but I think this video is suitable for those people who have a home with an older alarm system, because most likely you will encounter something like this. And the problem is that a few days ago I noticed that the system LED turned on and the keypad was beeping at me every 10 seconds. So I want to find out what is triggering this system light to come on. Now, on this alarm system, to quiet the beeping, because it was quite annoying, it was beeping every 10 seconds, you just press any key on this keypad and it will mute that beeping. However, the system light will still remain on. So what you want to do is, if you have a different model number or different alarm system, you really want to get on the internet and find the installation guide. The user guide might have the information you need to find out the trouble code, but it might not be as detailed as the installation guide. And when I googled my alarm system, I was able to find the installation guide for my alarm system, and here is the section on checking the trouble code. And what it requires you to do is press the *2 and then press 1, and after you press those keys, it will light the different zone numbers, which gives you the different alarm conditions that's causing the system faults. They ask you to press *2, and it flashes the system light. And what you want to do is press 1 again. Now, earlier it was on zone 1, but by pressing 1 again, it will actually light up the trouble code. So here is telling me zone 1 is the trouble code. And if I look at the table here, the light 1, which I highlighted, it says low battery main panel backup. And this will get triggered when the backup battery is below 11.5 volts under load. And when it gets restored to 12.5 volts, it will clear the alarm. So here is my alarm system, and this front cover was held by 2 screws on the side, and these were just regular drywall screws that the installer used. I removed those, opened the cover, and you'll see this here is the backup battery. Now, I did replace this once already, probably about 7 years ago, but these are sealed lead acid battery, and they don't last forever. They will eventually die out, and you have to replace them. So what you want to do is, you'll find these terminals on the battery. There's a positive and negative. Go ahead and remove these terminals. And then the backup battery will come out. If you want to test the battery and you have access to a multimeter, you can test the battery. One way is to leave the backup battery in the alarm system connected, remove your AC power, hook up your multimeter, as I'm doing right now, to the battery. That's under load. So the alarm system is being powered off from the backup battery, and you measure the voltage. Or another way is pull the battery out and maybe let it sit, overnight, and connect the multimeter to the battery, measuring the DC voltage, as you see right here, and put your probe on the battery terminal. And as you can see, it's 11.7, which is actually lower than what is rated for. It's supposed to give you at least 12.5 volt coming out. So this battery doesn't really hold a good charge anymore. Now, over here I have the new replacement battery, which I just got in the mail, and I'll put my probe measuring the DC voltage on the new battery, and you see it's 12.9. So this is a healthy one, whereas the other one is 11.7. So let me quickly talk about the different size of batteries that you can find on the market. And this replacement one I have right here on the left is from eBay, and it was about maybe $14. not too expensive. Now the reason my original battery you see here is much bigger is because you'll see that this is rated at 12 volt 7.2 amp hour. I did replace this about 7 years ago, and I happened to find a good deal on this size of battery. I went with something a little bit higher rating than what it really needs. Now this one I have here is 12 volt 5 amp hour. So if you ask, well, which one do I need? You really need to pay attention to the guide. That's for your alarm system. And if you can find the information in your guide, this one says for my alarm system it needs 12 volt 4 amp hour. So again, my new replacement one is 12 volt 5 amp hour, which is a little higher, but it's okay. And this will replace my old one here. And make sure that when you get rid of this, don't throw this in the trash. Find a place that will take recycling of old batteries and recycle these. So now install this new battery back in here. Just be careful that you don't interrupt these wires and mess it up. These are the wires from your contacts to the zone that eventually goes to like a reed switch to the door or window. So we'll grab the wire that plugs into your backup battery, and you'll see that the positive terminal on the battery itself is marked red. So you connect this to the red terminal here, and on the black wire here you connect that to the negative terminal. As I was installing this new battery, I realized something which I totally overlooked, and it's the terminal size. You can see the old one has a smaller one and the new one has a bigger terminal. So the connector that's on the alarm panel didn't fit onto these bigger connector. What I will do is I do have some new connector that will fit onto this type, and I will just recrimp the new connector onto the wire. Now if you don't have access to some of the tools you'll need to do crimping, you can try to get a cutter and trim off some of the tab here, just make it a little bit more narrow. It's up to you, but I'll go ahead and replace the terminal on my alarm panel right now. So if you've seen my other videos, I've done some videos in the past on showing you how to crimp connectors on. So what I'm going to do is just cut off the connector as you see here, and then strip the insulation off the end of the wire, like so. Make sure you don't short the wires as you're doing this. Get the new connector on, crimp it. Do the other one. And that's it. Grab the new battery. Again, connect the positive to positive and negative to negative. Back at the control panel, what I noticed earlier is the system light was still on after I put in the new battery, but after about a minute the system light went off on its own. I didn't have to reset anything on the panel, and I believe the system, what it does is basically it takes a minute or two to check the battery, make sure it's healthy, it's good, and then it will clear the alarm. So I hope the video is helpful for some of you who may have an alarm system where you found that the backup battery is old and is bad and needs to be replaced. It's very inexpensive to repair. So anyways, if you have any questions, leave a comment below, and if you like the video, please subscribe. Thank you for watching.